I'm Mike.
I'm Rob.
I'm Mindy.
I'm Matt.
And welcome to a special edition of Let's Get Ethical live from the CSRC 2026.
All right, it is RT Sidebar time. We are here at the CSRC in California amongst all the beautiful people, and we are here with the other bald friends of ours. Let's Get Ethical, Dr. Mike Sheehan, Rob Fishwick, and of course, America's respiratory sweetheart, Mindy Conklin.
Mindy.
Wonderful lecture, as always.
Thank you. It was fun.
It's fun, right?
It's fun.
I love it. Being in California reminds me of Yoko Tanaka. Yoko Tanaka from Marina Del Rey was my very first fan. And she kind of cried when she saw me because I am so freaking popular. That's just how it is. But RT Sidebar, Let's Get Ethical, has a nice place here in California. They're doing a great job. Big shout out to the CSRC board, especially Jake, the president, doing a
Jake
great
Miller,
job.
good job,
Hey,
Jake.
All right, we love Jake. So when we were sitting there all together, Mindy, you and I have talked about this quite a bit. Why did we start a podcast, and what has it become? So we have Let's Get Ethical here with us. So Mike, Rob, and Mindy, how has podcasting evolved to what it is today? So I'm going to start, Mike, I'm going to start with you. Like we talked about this in the car on the way back to St. Louis. Podcasting is a method of communication that is becoming more popular.
Yeah.
It's how we educate now.
Yeah,
So
it really
talk
is.
about it.
So
As our educator.
your reach really exceeds everything else by doing podcasting. Because you're in how many countries?
114.
114. We're not quite there, but last time I checked, what did I say we were in? 14?
14 countries.
14 different countries?
14 different countries.
And I think we've added a couple more. It allows that reach. That's what it is. So it allows us to not just educate, but also listen to what others are considering, what others are going through, what others are thinking. And it allows us to respond in that platform. I mean, you got Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Music, Audible.
All of it.
We're on all of those. I might have missed one. And then YouTube. We're on all those platforms. And so it gives you this opportunity to reach an audience, to reach somebody, anybody, that you simply couldn't reach before.
That is true. So while you said YouTube, we have to have a big shout out. Respiratory coach Joe Lewis
Joe.
just hit 100,000 subscribers.
100,000.
Well done, buddy.
I just texted him right now. Joe, if you're watching, reply. I just texted him telling me that Henry said he owes me an extra large shirt.
Yes.
Henry told me you owe me an extra large shirt, Joe, so
There we go.
I'll be looking for it.
Now, Rob, Let's Get Ethical started beginning of this year. You guys already have a bunch of episodes.
We did.
Tell me what drives you to doing a podcast.
It's funny because the very first podcast I ever did was RT Sidebar. The very first. And there was this, for me, a natural evolution that as RT Sidebar went on, I just continued to listen and became a great fan. And I've had the privilege of being on RT Sidebar numerous times.
More than anybody, right? Yep.
Yeah, almost more than anybody.
No, not almost.
Oh, more than anybody. More than
You have
anybody.
the number one.
For me and Mike, it's become this natural evolution of educating, increasing your, I'm going to call it sphere of influence, because really
that's what it is.
We're educating. We want to talk about ethics and other topics, not just in respiratory care, but in healthcare in general. It's an amazing broad opportionity, and we love it. Like it's not work. It's a passion, and it's fun. It's a great way from, Mike and I are connecting on two completely opposite sides of the United States.
That's true.
And we get to do so in a really cool modern day medium. So what's there not to love about podcasting?
knowing you guys and know you guys well, like your podcast is fantastic. You're talking about interesting things. It's very interesting. I think it really has a place, and it's not just ethics. It's common topics. It's talking to different people. Mindy, I remember when I had my fingers crossed when I asked you to come on the podcast permanently. What do you think about podcasts?
I had no idea what I was doing. And I think
Neither did I.
I really think it showed. I was so nervous. It's kind of like imposter syndrome.
Yes.
I was comfortable talking in front of people, but a camera's different.
It's different.
Because you look at yourself, you're like, do I really look like that? Do you see? It's just completely different. But it was kind of a no-brainer. I feel like podcasting reaches a different network of people, and then you grow that network, and then that's how you make new friends. And I think that's important.
And we've made a lot of friends along the way. When I was with the boys in Missouri, we were talking about networks, and networks matter.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Well, we're in California, Mike Sheehan territory. Thank you for inviting us to come.
Thank you guys so much for being here. This is going to be awesome.
We have since we're talking about podcasting, RT Sidebar, Let's Get Ethical, has a very special surprise. So, coming back for the first time in a while, one of my best friends in the world and my former co-host. Big round of applause. Here's JB.
Yeah.
JB is in the house. Have a seat. I'm going to snuggle.
Welcome back, JB.
It's going to be awesome. Whoa.
We've missed you.
Don't die.
Oh, yes.
I have missed it.
Yeah.
So JB is here. You actually taped with JB
Yes.
back at Exeter that one time.
Yes.
But to get my old friend back, talking about Let's Get Ethical, JB, you and I have had some odd conversations.
To say the least.
So I was just talking the other day. My favorite JB moment was when we did an episode on giving and getting report. And you might have gotten report on somebody that wasn't alive anymore, if I remember correctly.
That is correct. It was a neonate. The bassinet was in there. They didn't say who the treatment was for. The same last name, and then it was actually my employee, and so he goes in there, sees the bassinet, and then is trying to be supportive. It was like, oh yeah, coochie, such a cute baby, and the treatment ended up being for the mom, and so he gave the mom a treatment, and he's congratulating them on the baby. The baby looks so cute, this and that. And then he finishes up the treatment. He walks out. He sees the nurse and says, "Hey, did the baby need anything while I'm here?" And she just looks at him and says, "The baby was deceased. The baby was, and so he's sitting there like, Gucci.
I think I would die.
Yeah, it was. And as he's telling me this, I feel myself. I'm going more and more pale. And I'm holding on to my seat, and I just felt for him. It wasn't a great situation, but that was just a rapid report, and they didn't give any details on what was going on in the room. And then you find yourself in that situation. So
I'm surprised the mom didn't refuse her albuterol.
yeah, it was.
JB, did you ever follow up with that person that gave you that report?
I did. And
That was a fun conversation.
Yeah, I want to hear about that.
It was. I mean, they're not the same person anymore. They still cringe when I bring that up to them. They changed their practice. That person's still bedside today. They changed their practice. They don't congratulate anybody on anything anymore. They just go in, check the wristband, make sure that they're seeing the right patient. So they're very by the book now, and Yeah, it's definitely changed their practice for good. Yeah, it's just a horrible story, but I just really felt for them.
I think that would change my practice also.
Yes.
I would want a full report next time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. On everybody in the room.
Right.
On everybody.
That was the odd one. The second best that you and I had was 4th of July when we celebrated America. And we talked America. We had such a good time, and I remember when I submitted that at work, they're like, "What are you two doing?" It was pretty funny. Mike, you've been podcasting now for a little while. You've been on a bunch. You've actually had other podcasts. What's your favorite podcast story or podcast moment?
For which podcast? For any of them, including my old podcasts?
Sure.
Because
what's your favorite moment?
So I started podcasting back in 2016, before we did a video podcast. Nothing on YouTube. It's actually still on Spotify. I'm not going to say the name.
You don't want us to find
Every
it?
podcast, every episode included drinking, and it was recorded in my garage, and it was with friends, and it was one of the funniest things because we often didn't have a topic.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get a little alcohol in you, anything seems like a great topic until you're editing it and you're sober.
Your intuition's
I have podcasts that were on how we marinated our meat for barbecues. And these podcasts would be with three of us, and they would be an hour and a half.
Oh my God! On meat marination?
Yeah.
The whole podcast
The
was on.
whole podcast is just three dudes talking about how they marinate their steaks and how they cook their steaks and do open, close, flame, no flame, how high, low, slow.
I probably would listen to that. Yeah.
You would. I'll tell you.
Reverse sear.
I still listen to it sometimes, and it's some of the most entertaining stuff. I remember one though was amazing. We went in with a topic, and I can't remember what the topic was, but I had my friend on, and we started, and I was like, welcome, let's get started. Today we're talking about this, and he goes, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I want to talk about this. And for an hour, I can't remember what it was, but for an hour, we talked about, I don't even know, cars. Like car maintenance. He had been fixing his car all day. And it's some of the craziest, just dumbest things. And they're out there forever. They're out there forever. Yeah, I'll tell you, one of the most amazing podcast series, in my opinion, my humble opinion. And I'll say this one. I did a limited run, a limited series for my dad. It's called Grandpa Sheehan's Stories. You can find it on Spotify, and you'll know it's mine. It's a picture of me as a kid. It was all the stories my dad told me growing up. He recorded them all. And so it's really from when I was 6 to 9 years old. And you can hear me on these recordings, and I converted them, and I put them into a digital format from cassette tape. And I did this, it was probably 2, maybe 3 years ago. I presented it to him for Father's Day, and it's still on Spotify today. That's one of my favorite things. Yeah, it was awesome. Love you, Dad. Yeah.
Now, Rob, you
Sir.
the most times as a guest. What's your favorite podcast moment?
My favorite podcast moment, most recently, I think this was it last year, we did a Veterans Day.
Oh, that's
Veterans
awesome.
Day RT Sidebar special. And I know I had a moment of self-reflection of a pulmonary rehab patient I had taken care of that was a gunny Marine. And I told the story of him handing me his gunny coin, because I was a Navy hospital corpsman. I served with the Fleet Marine Forces, and he had immense respect for me, and I had immense respect for him. God bless you, man. I know you're no longer with us, but that for me was a pivotal moment in my podcasting career.
And then Mindy came along, and that was weird too, because we didn't know each other that well.
We did not.
So, would you like to tell the audience how it happened? If you like, it was such a blur.
It was a really big blur because you guys just reached out to me.
Yep.
And you're like, we want to put you on the podcast at AARC, and this was in 2023.
2023. Yep.
So that was my first time ever being on a podcast with you two.
Yep. You were with us.
And you were like, you almost like, you told me you were almost starstruck or something like that.
was.
And I was like, I tell everyone, I'm just Mindy. I'm just Mindy. I'm nothing special. I just do something I love doing.
Yep.
But you were just like kind of starstruck. It was really cool to have the headphones in that live setting. But I think my favorite podcast so far was the one we just did in Montana.
Ooh.
So the 100 was good, but I'm excited for 101.
101. Coming
101
out
is Thursday.
this coming Thursday, which would be the 29th.
29th, yeah. I think.
29th. And it's a little question and answer.
It's a
wasn't
Q&A,
it?
and it's quite comical.
It is
And
quite
I
comical.
think that having us together in a room like we did was pretty magical.
And if I can cut in for just a second before we move down the road, I need to say that the people who are the reason that I'm doing this today are sitting in these chairs. Well, one on the arm of the chair, right? So I'm going to give another shout out to Raph Goding, right? I saw Raph. He's here. He's inside. I had talked to Raph, and Raph said, "Oh, you should reach out to these guys. You should go on this podcast." I was telling him what I was doing with the speaking engagement stuff, and he sent me to Jonathan.
Yeah.
He sent me to JV, and I reached out to Jonathan. Jonathan sent me to you, and then I would be remiss if I did not. Hey guys, I would be remiss if I did not include the first webinar that I did.
Yes.
Because that webinar is where I met this guy. And we had quite a big disagreement via webinar chat.
I need to watch that.
It was funny. And then at Congress, I got an opportunity to meet you in person. And here we are. It's really kind of amazing how things happen. You talked at lunch, Mindy, about meant to be.
Yeah.
Here we are. Yeah.
Meant to be.
It's really amazing how it just fell into place. And I wouldn't be anywhere without Jonathan
Thank you.
JV.
saying, "Hey, you know who you need to talk to?" Matt.
We had, you and I had a lot of fun memories. A lot of craziness.
I think you were the first person that actively sought us out, and so I was like, someone wants to be on our show. Matt, someone wants to be on our show. Yes, we've made it. So it was
Well, see,
a
it's
good
because
moment.
I've done podcasts in the back, and I had a small run, about 14, 15 episodes, something like that. And I was like, oh, I love doing that. I want to do that. And so, yeah, it was awesome.
I love when we get to do these type of podcasts when we're all together.
Oh, yeah.
I just think it's more magical. It's just more us. Zoom is great, blah, but this is really what it's all about. We've had some interesting on the roads.
Yeah, but I remember every single one of you guys' podcasts, and it worked so well. I mean, even like on yours, I remember the one question that I asked, and you surprised me. And I asked, what was that moment when you're working with a patient and you're like, oh, I'm not an RT anymore.
Yeah.
I'm an APRT. I'm like way outside my scope. And I thought you would say something in the bronchoscopy field, but you were putting in the central line.
Yeah.
That was your moment.
Nice.
And it just, and it was eye-opening to me. I was, it was a good.
I remember that because my clinical was during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So that central line was done in an ICU on a patient on non-invasive who didn't have any sedation. So when you're all gowned up, not only because he was in isolation, but because of COVID, and you're trying to hold ultrasounds with the patient breathing with a non-invasive on, you have your doctor behind you because it's your first time inserting one, and you're trying to hold your ultrasound, push in and pull at the same time to make sure that you're getting the right flow back and the right blood back, and it's not arterial blood, you're not in a carotid artery.
Yeah.
Or air. But
You're not in Kansas anymore at that point.
yeah, so that was definitely a different feeling.
Yeah.
So
But that was a great moment. That was a highlight. I will always remember. From
you're like
that.
a central line.
Yeah, because that was not what I would have thought of.
Yeah.
But it made sense when you explained it.
Yeah.
That was a good moment.
I remember your first episode. I remember all of our first episode. Remember how bad we sucked at the beginning? It was so bad.
Oh, just trying to get the equipment
right,
right,
know-
the microphones.
It's a lot.
I've listened to the first couple episodes of RT Sidebar, and I can concur.
They were not. They were not great. They were not great.
It's a learning curve.
It is.
It's a learning
100%.
curve.
It is a learning
Yeah.
I think a lot of it too was at the beginning we were so nervous that like I was pouring like a decent sized whiskey just to like kind of calm myself down, and then I just needed less and less whiskey as I got better at it, and that's
And
kind
you
of how
have
I
to figure
gauged
out where
my.
it's gonna go.
Maybe we should do
have
one
to
where we
figure out
have some
what's our
wine
path.
before we do a podcast.
Probably should.
We probably should.
I will be honest. Like, I remember how nervous we were. We used to do them live.
Yeah.
Ugh. I'm just hanging out with my friends now.
Yeah.
You know, like it's so much easier now. Plus, when Let's Get Ethical gets here, I don't have to do any of the technical stuff because Mike does it all for me. Thank
He's
you,
got
Mike.
this
Mike,
set up.
Mike the
buddy.
technician, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers
Fingers
crossed.
crossed.
I didn't want to say anything and jinx it. Yeah.
So, JB, our special guest, it was so nice to have you. Come back and visit us. We miss you. You have to come on more often.
Miss you,
More
JP.
often. I feel like you guys are all my best friends. I really just appreciate you all so much. JB, I'm going to hang out with you tonight, which is probably not going to be a good idea. Not a good idea.
I'm glad you're skinny now, so I don't have to like carry you
Yes.
and fall down. And,
Yeah.
Stories to come.
yeah.
Not for RT Sidebar. So, the CSRC, all of our guests that we've had are friends, are very dear friends from Let's Get Ethical. Respiratory therapy, always remember, JB is the man, Dr. JB.
Dr. JB.
And we
Nice.
have Dr. Mike, we have Rob, just Rob.
Just Rob.
And like I said, America's respiratory sweetheart, Mindy. So if you're here at the CSRC, you have to take a selfie with Mindy because she has the best selfie pose of all time.
I
Yours is
do.
great.
It's one angle.
It's
one angle.
It's the perfect angle.
Left arm,
So,
right arm.
yeah, oh, yeah.
It's like this.
Go ahead. Show the
This.
Oh, yes. It is perfection
Turns
all the
out
time.
every time.
Perfection all the time.
Yeah.
So, California, thanks so much for having us. JB for being here. Us. Big day tomorrow. Mike, Rob, and I get
Yes,
to
sir.
do the fun ethics lecture. This is the funnest ethics lecture you'll ever be to. Like, I'm running around and they're asking questions. I'm sweating. It's loads of fun. It's gonna be
It's
awesome.
way more fun than it sounds when you say
Yeah.
ethics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, when you say
it's-
ethics, you're like, wah, wah,
Right.
wah.
Yeah, but we make
It is
ethics fun.
They make
will be
ethics fun.
Fun.
So, from RT Sidebar, let's get ethical. Stay tuned.
Tuned.
Stay tuned. No finger guns.